All right, a quick recap of the trading day for June 16th, 2015 on NADEX. Pretty good day, $50 profit on a capital risk of 240 or so for 21%. Sounds good, but too much luck involved to call it a good trading day. So here's the quick explanation. Trading the TF, the Russell, and the S&P 500. The ranges I put in here, the zones I put for myself. The gold marks are my sort of gold standard for an outside range. I'll show that in the end, but that's basically just based on sort of eyeballing resistance and support areas going back a ways. And the blue areas, the 1266, 1239 on the TS is roughly the same idea. And the two inner yellow zone here are basically an indicator I got from Robert from one of the forums, which I will put a link to my post about that, and the detail of how that is calculated can be shown there. But so you can see that the channels, this is kind of the narrower channel, hitting my blue marks would be the next channel, and then the gold. And as you can see from looking at this in the day, I didn't have too much hope for the ES, because really, unless the ES was going to head down towards my 2063 point, it didn't have much chance of getting up to this 2119. It was just too far away. Whereas on here, it's a much tighter channel, so even though it started out at, it closed yesterday at 1251, it did start its upswing, and I felt, okay, it had a chance of getting higher, getting closer to my ranges, which would give me decent buys, or should say decent costs to short and to sell. So what I did on the TF is I placed four working orders, basically at 1262. If I could buy it for $30, I put in that working order. 1264 at $20, 1266 at 15, 1268 at 10. And all of those were filled at around 10 o'clock or so, which you can see on my numbers below in the post. So right in about here, those all became, or all were activated right there. Now, I wasn't comfortable with the 1262, 64, or 66 really. I thought the 66 might be okay. So I really just quickly put in take profit orders that if 1262, if I could buy it back for 20, I would. And 1264, if I could buy it back for, I think it was 10. And all the way down the line, except for the 1268, which I decided to leave hanging in there. All of the take profit orders were filled for roughly an $8 profit, a $10 profit, but if you take off the commission, it's only $8. Very, pretty conservative, really. I made a mistake on the 1266 and just clicked it too early. Actually, it was just a physical mistake. So I sold it at 15. I bought it back at 11.25, and then with the commissions, I made about $1. So that was just a physical error, and I let the 1268 ride. And while I was at it, I did put sort of a Hail Mary buy in here, or sell in here on the ES, and I said, well, if it hits 2090, or if I can sell the 2090 contract and I can sell it for $25, well, let's give that a shot. Now, that wasn't filled in the morning, but I was out all day today. So after these had been filled at around 10, and I put in my take profit orders, and that's why I'd put in those pretty tight take profit too, because I was going to be away all day and I didn't want to leave those hanging out there. Obviously, I could have done a lot better with them as up in here, but I wasn't in front of my computer. but a profit's a profit, and I'll take that. But while I was away, at about on the ES, that 2090 was sold for $25 at about $13.30. So right in here, that 2090 was filled. And that really is where the luck comes in that I had nothing, I wasn't even around. So this hung in there right to the end to settlement. I think it got up to 2089, just below my 2090 point. So I made the full 25 bucks on that, less the $2 commission. And really the same with that 1268, in that I think I got a little closer to that 1268 than I would have liked, although I'm going to still call that, actually, no, I'd call that a good trade. I think the luck really was over here because, again, I wasn't even really around for this, and I got lucky that it didn't hit the 2090. And really, I had no business getting into the ES at 2090 because even though it had passed this channel here, it was still so far away from my 2119. I really shouldn't have taken that trade, although it worked out. One other trade I took that day, or today I mean, was I did buy a weekly on the TF. I put a working order in that if I could get 1272, and I got it at 1825, I sold it for, which, you know, maybe a little risky. I'm going to have to look at trying to, if we get some more upside. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I don't know how good a trade that is. I guess time will tell. And that was pretty well the day. So the conclusion is I did well at a 21% profit, but half of that at least was luck. Over and out.